a law in such a market is just morally harmful to our society in terms of gender inequality and causing harms to families and even lead to the adolescent prostitution, which is a crime.
Adolescent prostitution.
Yeah, because you
Yes.
want to raise professional prostitute from beginning. So it's better to
Oh,
yeah. That's a
okay.
kind of encouraging. You encourage.
Yeah, yeah. So the first is ethics, societal ethics in
Yeah.
terms of not wanting this to be an official career choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Official career choice. That would contradict current law. Crime law, actually.
Uh-huh. Health. Okay. So I mentioned the health point.
Okay, well, do you want to have the adolescent prostitution argument? I think it's better we have a spread of arguments between us. Like you can have two arguments: health and adolescent prostitution.
So, and what would your 2 points be? I'm still thinking about your gender equality point, whether it's clear.
Okay, I think the gender equality point is that because if you legalize it, it naturally will be more female than male.
Yeah,
and
but how is that unequal in terms of gender?
This will encourage, this profession will encourage women to just sell their bodies rather than become competent in the societal productions, something like that. And this will naturally need to, I don't know. Yeah, this is too weak.
Yeah, I get your logic, yeah. But we have to
how to extend it.
The logic.
Yeah. What's the link?
But yeah, even if that logic is true, right, it doesn't fully kind of prove the gender inequality point.
Yeah, it's problematic.
It's ethical point, yeah.
It's good ethical point, but you need to make it well-rounded. Yeah, I think it is point that the existence of prostitution is not from women but from men. So it's a men-driven market, and women, in this respect, becomes a commodity rather than a person. So that's a materialized.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So commodification would be good.
Yes, that's a gender inequality. Yeah. So it's a deploitation. Yeah. I think commodification is good. Would you be comfortable with arguing it as you want to do this commodification? You want to do this argument? I could. Yeah. Okay, fine. So I will do adolescence and human trafficking. Okay. Cool. Okay. I think that's very good. And then we're arguing for decriminalization, maybe instead of banning it. So decriminalization wouldn't be to encourage, and it wouldn't to. It doesn't encourage or doesn't discourage, but it protects the people. I mean, I think it's better to separate. I mean, you can decriminalize the prostitute, and you need to criminalize the customer. Oh. That's my third argument, I think. Sure. Yeah. So but then there will also be the health issue. Let's say if it's the customers that are criminals, then they are kind of worried about telling people as well. But sure, I can navigate my way around it. I think it's good. Yeah, because that's I think that's the rule to criminalize the customer.
Okay, so we make it really clear that criminalization for the customers and decriminalization, but not banning in terms of the prostitutes. Okay, but we must state it clearly, especially since you're the opposition leader.
Oh yes, I will make it clear. Decriminalization of prostitutes.
I think it's good. 15 minutes should be up, and then I'll try to raise more points of information as well
for
the other team.
But what about on the criminalization of customer arguments? How to make it well-rounded? Do you have any idea? Why should we do that?
Right. Why should we do that? If we say we want to criminalize the customers.
Yeah, why?
So
that's like because of the two arguments I mentioned, human trafficking and adolescent prostitutes, I need to curb the market. And the market, since the market is male-driven, the demand side must be curbed. So I need to criminalize the customer.
And maybe we can frame it in such a way. We're saying that prostitutes, not everyone is a victim, but we want to protect those that are victimized. And so we will decriminalize it for prostitutes. But it is very important to also make sure that this is not a trend that we develop with the criminalization. We want to one day minimize prostitution or reduce it to the smallest extent. And this we will do by criminalizing customers.
So we minimize prostitution industry and we protect the victim. So we need to criminalize customer and decriminalize prostitute.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite interesting though. I think we'll get a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
And that might be interesting debate.
Yeah. I think this is very novel to say that.
Yeah.
Protect, minimize while protecting.
Yeah, let's check on the other side, see whether they need us.
Oh, what about time? Do we have the time now?
Oh, it's already 18 minutes, so our time should be up.
Oh, I
think I'm trying to get back to our meeting room, which I don't see.
Let me check it.
Can you view the other meeting room?
I'm trying to go in back.
Yeah, it seems like I'm out.
Yeah, it's weird.
Are you in the meeting room or outside?
No, I'm outside.
Yeah, so we're no longer in the meeting room. How about this? We try dialing in again, and then we ask them to put us in the meeting room.
Okay.
Okay, all right, end this conversation now.
Hi, Jack.
Oh, we're back?
Oh.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. But I don't know. Okay, fine.
I'm not back yet, so I'll try again to get into the meeting room. Okay, I put down this one. Thanks.
Okay. Sorry we are late.
That's fine. Is Zeus joining as well?
Yeah, he's trying to join.
Sorry?
He's trying to join. He's navigating from Jack.
apparently Zeus is incoming, so within the next minute or two.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Cool.
Hey.
Yeah, we're ready. Just to clarify, Ethan, so I am the closing opposition, or should I imagine myself just as the deputy opposition? Do I need to do like the roles of summary, or is it more of a whip position?
So Jack says you're in opening opposition.
Yeah, opening opposition, but since we only have 4, so I shouldn't assume closing.
No, you're just the normal speaker. So you're just like a deputy leader of opposition, like second speaker.
Okay, I imagine that it continues then. Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay, so we're just going to start without Michael because we don't know when he's going to be here, and he's going to be later on in the debate anyway. So, motion: this House would legalise prostitution. We're going to do 5 minute speeches. You can offer points of information between the first minute and the last minute, so between 1 minute and 4 minutes. And yeah, without any further ado, we invite the Prime Minister to give their speech in open government.
Yeah. Thank you for this Zoom invitation. So today I will talk about the motion that this House would legalize prostitution, and of course it's a very good idea to legalize prostitution. So by prostitution we mean paying for sex, and today I will go and tell how we're going to legalize it, and I will say why this is a good reason, because it increases the health, the safety, and it can even be beneficial for the finances of the women involved. So let me first start with how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to regulate this prostitution sector like we would just regulate any other sector in the economy. So we are just going to regulate these brothels, and we're going to introduce like labor agreements there. We're going to inspect the workplace just as we would like do with other workplaces, and we're going to allowing these prostitutes to start up a union to defend their interests, and we can also raise taxes so that it just becomes like any other profession that we can. And so why do we do this over this illegal prostitution system that we have now? Well, we do this because prostitution will happen anyway. So it is often called the oldest profession in the world. It is, and it will just happen. It happens across every society. And so because this happens anyway, we better do something with it that is better than the current illegal situation. And our system of regulation is actually much better because it will provide benefits in terms of health, in terms of safety, and in terms of money for the women involved. And how does it do so? Well, it does so by first, in terms of health, I am from the Netherlands, actually, and I lived very close to a sort of regulated prostitution area. Never visited, but I used to pass there, of course. And what you can see there was this sort of a small unit where a doctor used to be all the time when this space was open. So you can imagine the difference between this illegal prostitution in some sort of remote location, very secretly somewhere, and then the new situation where you just have a doctor on the side who can check on these women and who can help them and give them all kind of medication and whatever it's needed. So it's much better for the health. It's also much better, you can imagine, for the safety, because now prostitution happens in all these dodgy places. These women are extremely vulnerable from abuse. So what if this would just happen in plain daylight, where there would be some sort of inspection carried out, and it would be just like a normal
line of information,
and not taken like in a hotel or any other. And so this will not completely solve the risk of abuse, but it will completely change the situation, because it will happen in the daylight and many more people will see what's actually happening instead of at these very obscure locations which are very unsafe for women and in which they can get in very bad situations and actually do all the time. So it's better for health, it's better for safety, and actually the interesting thing is that it might actually also benefit them financially, because what happens to these women that are in prostitution now, it's always very illegal, and so it's not really clear what happens with the money, and often they're under much pressure from some pimp, and they have to give all the money to them. But if this is a legalized business, then we can just check their books and see if they are properly paid, and they have to pay rent for the rooms that they use, for example, as happens now in Amsterdam, and you can just sort of guarantee that they have a sort of form of money, and that they really get the money, and that the money does not disappear somewhere in the system. So I think this sort of regulated prostitution has very large advantages over the current illegal system in terms of health, in terms of safety and money, and I think so. This, whatever the opposition may come up with, they should first keep in mind that this sort of prostitution will happen anyway. So it's really sort of so we have to regulate it, or we have to deal it way the best we can, and we do that with our sort of regulation system. And my colleague will later on tell a bit more about the broader societal implications and why our system from a societal point of view is a very good idea. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that speech. And now I invite... Sorry,
okay. Ethan, could you help us by clapping on the first and the fourth minute?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. If you want to do your own timers just to help, yeah, okay. But I'll make a clap. So,
thank you.
Okay, so thanks for the speech, and now please invite the Leader of the Opposition to do their speech.
Okay. Dear speakers and members of the House, well, we would not agree with the upper house and legalize the prostitution. We oppose it. And before I extend my arguments, I would like to first make some rebuttals. The upper house said that the legalization of prostitution will make the women workers more health, more safe, and more financially organized. I totally disagree with this argument. It is the very existence of the prostitution and the very legalization of prostitution that makes women worse off, because with this legalization, you will encourage human trafficking from the third world countries, and you will encourage adolescent prostitution, which is totally illegal, because you expand the market and more demand will lead to more harms. So that's why we totally disagree with it. Instead, we would propose to criminalize the customer and decriminalize the prostitution, so that this industry will wither naturally and will extinct in the end. This is our proposition for this argument. Now I would like to make my argument. I would like to explain my first argument on why it encouraged human trafficking. The prostitution is a very bad form of industry, because it treats people as a because in developed countries like UK and Netherlands, there are some regions where there are legalized prostitution industry, and the most of the prostitutes are human trafficked from the third world countries like Cambodia, Thailand, or Vietnam. They are treated. They are stolen from their family, and they are treated as well in the process of trafficking. They are treated as slavery, and some even are died